Well, I just arrived. I'm getting ready to get in bed with Joan. I'm kind of nervous. I haven't been in bed with anyone, let alone Joan, for, 15 years now, other than my wife. So this will be an interesting experience. I haven't told my wife about it. I wonder if she'll mind. Oh, I guess I'll just keep it a secret. Uh-oh, that's a lot of secrets I have to keep track of. That's one more. Okay, well, no one tell her.
Product placement. Hi, I'm Joan Rivers, the name of the show, In Bed with Joan, and let's see who's coming out of my closet right now. Hello? Ah, Scott Aukerman.
Joan!
All right, I'm nice to see you.
My word. Hi.
Come sit down.
Oh my goodness, that was really claustrophobic.
Yes.
Hi.
Well, you're tall to be in my little closet.
No, I'm way too tall to be in that one. No,
Yeah,
thank
but-
you for letting me out.
First of all, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Hi, Joan. It's such a pleasure to meet
Pleasure
you.
to meet you. And
Big fan.
before we even get into any of that, I have a little product placement.
Oh
So
boy.
You don't have to say whether you use them or you don't.
So-
It's not
so-
it just.
I mean,
It's like, and you don't. Have to, I'm 80 years old. Nobody's thinking anything's going on here. But I just like to leave them because I get money, just on the bed. Okay? Do you
Okay,
mind?
sure. Yeah. I mean, I would love to use those.
Yeah.
If
I'll
I was
give them
qualified.
to you at the end.
No, I mean, you could fit 3 of my dicks in this. So that's on a good day.
Yeah. So that's all very good.
Okay.
And now you're funny.
Oh well, thanks. So are you, of course.
Yeah, but
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan ever since Celebrity Apprentice.
That's very. Yeah. Well, that's.
Didn't know who you were before that. Just kidding, of course.
Well, people just laugh through Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah,
That's
it's a laugh
why you're a
riot.
fan?
No, of course not.
No.
I'm a big fan of talk shows, which is why I have a fake talk show.
Are you excited about the new Star Wars movie?
Yes, I am. I really am. And, I shouldn't jinx it.
What? What is it?
I read for a part in episode 7.
No way! I read for a part in episode 7.
The script is really good.
It's good. It's
really good.
legitimately good.
I was amazed that the title, Star Wars Episode 7, Boss Nass is back.
Watto's grandson.
Watto's grandson.
Such a cool character.
Great character. And I love how in the opening crawl, they have the line, the taxation of trade routes to outlying star systems is once again in dispute.
Oh man, I can't wait to see how that comes out.
You have done stand-up,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But you've really made your fame and fortune, as they say, in writing.
Yeah, I started out as a stand-up, and I've done it intermittently over the years. But yeah, it's just easier to become a writer. I wrote on the HBO show Mr. Show. Bob Odenkirk, saw me the second time I ever did stand-up, and said, "Hey, you should come work on my show." And that's how I got started, strangely enough.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Of course, it took 3 years from him saying that to him actually signing checks.
Right.
But it was pretty amazing. But yeah, they told me, don't try to write for yourself, just write for us. Did you ever write on a show or anything like that?
I wrote years ago. I wrote on the beautiful Phyllis Diller show.
Oh, great.
She had her own show. I wrote
Yeah.
for her because that was easy because you just say what. And I wrote for Bob Newhart.
Oh, cool. Which show of his?
Just lines.
Just lines and stuff? Oh, great,
lines.
great.
And I
How
wrote
much
for
would he pay for a line back then?
$7.
$7.
Yeah, it was so great.
That's a lot of money.
Still is.
Yeah, I mean, I would write a joke for anyone for $7 at this point.
And I got my big break on Ed Sullivan with Topo Gigio the mouse.
Mm-hmm. Did you write jokes for Topo Gigio?
Topo. Hello, Eddie.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of him actually recently.
Yeah.
Because we've been doing a Ed Sullivan episode of my show where I go back in time to the 60s and do an Ed Sullivan type show. So I was watching a lot of his work.
If you're going to be doing an Ed Sullivan type show and it's a live show, they would do things like, we're running late. Tell Edie, because it was Stephen Edie.
Right.
Tell Edie to cut 9 bars.
9 bars.
And you see her go, what? But you were always told things like that.
And not
Get
only
to
that-
her. Tell her to cut 1.5 minutes. But it was always, and you would see singers going like,
Yeah.
"Rah," on their cut it out. It was so funny.
And 9 bars is an odd number to
And
cut
she
as
used
well.
to say, I can't cut there, that's where I cry.
What was your first show that you said to yourself, wow, I've made it?
Never.
Because this is mine.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
No, I keep a bag packed at all times.
A go bag?
A go bag.
Like Mike in Breaking Bad? Just on the way to the airport?
You don't know. When it's over, get out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've been fired a lot. I love you.
Thank you. I've been fired a lot.
I've been fired for everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's meant to, usually it's just anti-Semitic, I like to think of it. It's very good to have that kind of a crutch, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you're white Anglo,
Thank you.
so you have a hard...
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing that I can blame on it other than
Yeah.
just my poor performance.
Yeah, and see, I could always go back to Jew haters.
I wish I had something like that.
It's great.
It is. My wife is Asian. She can just blame it on that.
Your wife's name. Say your wife's name.
I will, because if I say it 3 times, she's banished to her home dimension. It's Kulap Vilaysack.
When you met her, did she say, call me, I'm in the book?
She had to give me a tutorial of how to pronounce it the very first day, and I paid strict attention because I wanted to make sure that I never said it wrong to her.
Right. Of all the people, tell him some of the people. He's written for so many really terrific comedians. Zach Galifianakis.
Zach Galifianakis, I write and direct and produce the Between Two Ferns videos.
Firms, yes. But who would you like to write for still, or is it just now you're only writing for yourself?
I still write for Zach, so I still, I did the President Obama Between Two Ferns, so...
President Obama, for those who don't know, he came on...
For those of you who don't know, he's a black guy who
He's
is
a
our
president.
president.
Right? He's
Right.
a president.
Yeah, he doesn't really need a resume
Look it
other than
up.
that. Yeah, read a book once in a while.
Oh, no, excuse me. Look on your iPad.
Oh, sure.
No books, no books. Were you nervous? How do you say to the president, yeah, you're not reading that right, or
Yeah.
do it again. Can you do it without the whistle?
He has a strange gap between his teeth that he whistles
he has
through
a little whistle.
Yeah,
There's a little
it's
whistle.
interesting. I was very nervous, but I had to say, Mr. President, because he was ready to go, and I said, Mr. President, do you think that we could redo this one thing, because it was really good for part of it, but I would really love to do another version of it, but I'm told we don't have time. And he's, to his credit, he said, let's do it again.
Okay.
And so he was really game to do it, and just really was a pleasure to work with. I mean, way better than some of the terrible Hollywood stars that we usually have on that show.
Who has been the most difficult to work with?
I didn't want to say this, but Funny or Die actually said it recently, so not terrible, but Justin Bieber was a handful. In a way.
High or just...
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Which,
A handful because he thinks he's so terrific?
No, it just...
Lesbians get cocky. When you're working now, you're doing your own company, which is so amazing, called Earwolf.
Yes,
Right.
my podcasting company.
Yes. It's like the NBC of podcasts.
Third place?
First one, you're right.
Steadily declining every year.
Do you run it? Are you really running it?
Yeah, I go to comedians like Paul Scheer or Jeff Garlin.
Right.
And I say, hey, do you want to do a podcast? And then I work out what their show might be. And then we put it on the air. I don't really have much involvement once they go on, because I really believe in letting people do what they want to do and not being a company that kind of gets too involved and says, hey, you need to boost up numbers or anything like this. But that's pretty much what I do, and we have a great group of people.
Rona and Beverly.
Oh yeah, do you know those guys?
Love Rona and Beverly.
They have a show on our network.
Explain Rona and Beverly are two yentas.
Two yentas. They're two comedians, Jamie Denbo and Jessica Chafin, who play these great older Jewish lady characters who have no boundaries. and they interview people, and they're just so funny. They've been working on those characters for years and years and years, and it's just the funniest podcast. You've heard it, obviously.
Yes. Now, we have several departments on the show, if you would be so kind.
Okay.
The first is called I'm Sorry.
Okay, I have someone from relatively recently, before I met my wife. It was April Fool's Day, and you're a young woman, and I called you up. We had just started seeing each other. It was a new relationship. It was fresh. It was exciting, but I could tell that you were really, really into it, and were waiting for me to say those 3 magic words. And I thought it would be really funny to call you with all of my comedy writer friends listening on speakerphone, and to have a very serious proclamation of love for you, and let you know how much I was enjoying this relationship and how deeply I cared for you. And then at the end of that to say, April Fools, you dumb bitch. That was wrong. Wow. That was wrong. Yes, you laughed and you got it, and you were cool, and you were a comedy fan, and you knew that it was funny, and my friends were there, and yet you still hung up on me, which I think was the right thing to do.
I've stopped and listening to the story when you said she was waiting for those 3 words. Mm-hmm. What are the 3 words? Where's the check? Now we have another segment, and it's called Sit on It and Rotate.
Hey, Carlos. And I'm not telling you this because you're Hispanic. I'm telling you this because you were a jerk to me. When I was in 7th grade and you were in 6th grade, and I was taller than you, you still thought you could bully me. And you were right, because I was weak prey. And you followed me around on my bike while I was on my paper route, and you pushed me over on that bike, and all my papers spilled out onto the ground, and you laughed and you bragged to your friends that you were younger than me and you were still able to bully me around. Well, hey, Carlos, I had your father as my philosophy professor when I went to college, and he was a bad teacher. So I sort of have empathy for you, because he's not good at his job, and maybe he could have been a better father to you, but still, sit on it and rotate.
And Carlos, now that Scott is finished, we need to trim the hedges. Last thing I'd like to ask you, and you don't have to answer, of course.
Oh, cool.
But how did you lose your virginity?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, boy, this is a great story. I was 17 years old, and I had a girlfriend, and it was the winter formal dance. And we both decided that would be the night, and I got myself a much smaller box of these. And I remember I had these in the glove compartment of my car, and I was in a band at the time. I played guitar, and I would carry all of our equipment around in the back of my car. And on my way to it, I was stopped by a police officer, and he searched my car, and he saw all of the equipment, the guitars and everything in the back, and he said, "Why do you have all these guitars?" Thinking maybe I'd stolen them. And I said, "Well, I'm in a band." And he said, "Oh, okay." And then he found this huge extra jumbo pack of condoms in my glove compartment. He said, "Why do you have this?" And I said, "Well, I'm in a band." And he said, "I just have one question for you. May I join your band?" And he let me go on my way, and then I found out that it's lower than you think. That was the takeaway from that night.
What a pleasure this has been. Thank you so
Thank you
very much.
so
You're
much.
so smart and such a joy
It's
to talk
such
to.
a pleasure to meet you, and you're such a luminary.
Yeah,
And
right. And let's say goodnight to your wife.
Good night, Kulop.
Good night, Kulav. Okay.
Close enough.
Close enough.
As long as you get my name right.
Scott Aukerman.
There it is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And would you do us the honor of clapping us out?
Of course. Good night. Well, I just got out of being in bed with Joan. I mean, she got out of bed with me. I'm still in bed. But it was a success, I gotta say. It was really a lot more questions than I was asked the last time that I was in bed with a woman. But hey, you know, that's part of the game. And I'm gonna have a drink to celebrate. Thanks, Joan.
I really, really, really enjoyed being with Scott Aukerman because he didn't mind my mustache. He's so used to working with Zach Gaffigan and Atkins. Let me know who you'd like to see in bed with me. You can do it by sending me a message on Facebook or Twitter.